The episode starts and Asano's alarm wakes her up from sleep, but as soon as Asano stretches, she feels a severe pain in her body because her body has not yet recovered from the old wounds. After this, Asen comes to the bathroom and looks at his eye. Now he also has the power of Yozakura blood. On the other hand, we see Miss Sumi who had cooked food. Then Nanao comes to her with a book, and in this book there are secret arts of Yozakura fam, and there is also a formula in it through which the fatigue of Yozakura blood can be removed, and he has brought this book for Miss Sumi, but he tells Miss Sumi that this book is very dangerous. Then Asano comes there. Masumi says, "How is your condition now?" Asano says that I am absolutely fine, but as soon as he moves his hand, he feels a severe pain and friends. After this we come to know that Miss Sumi also cannot go out of the house for some time, because some time ago there was a deadly attack on her, and Miss Sumi Asano asks Asano to rest a little more, but Asano says that he cannot take many days off from school. So Miss Sumi asks Nanao to go to school with Asano, and Nanao agrees to this, but Asano tells Miss Sumi that if Nanao goes to school in this outfit, then there can be a problem, but then Nanao injects his body, due to which his body evolves a lot and Nanao becomes small here, and after this we get to see the real Nanao, and after seeing her, Asano was also shocked like us. In the next scene, we see that Nanao was going to school with Asano, and Asano still cannot believe her eyes. So Nanao tells her that my skill is immunity, my body is very unique. It can neutralize the poison and enhance itself, due to which it is very difficult to control it. That is why I always use mutation to control my body and reduce my mutation. But while telling this, suddenly Nanao's body has reached the school, and then some of her friends come to meet Nanao. Asano also feels very happy to see Nanao talking with her friends. On the other hand, we are shown the scene of the house where Cheyenne calls Kango to her to show that Miss Sumi is doing some experiment in the kitchen. How do they know that she is cooking food for Asano? On the other hand, we see Asano with her classmates, and these four were talking about their homework here, but then Asano gets a call from Nanao, so he starts talking to Nanao. Nanao says to him, "Can you come to the biology lab? Please come as soon as possible." After this, Asano comes to the biology lab, and after coming here, he starts searching for Nanao, and he finds Nanao, but in a very bad condition. He goes and asks her, "Are you okay?" Nanao, he says, "Yes, I am fine. By the way, can you inject me with this hypodermis?" So after this, Asano goes to that lab. Nanao is injected with the hypodermis, due to which Nanao's mutilated body becomes normal again. Now before Asano could ask Nanao what happened there, a girl comes there. The girl's name is Keita Sato Renee, and she is the president of the biology club. Now before Asano could explain anything to this girl, the girl comes to Nanao and says, "What happened to you, Nanao?" And after this she puts her forehead on his forehead and asks if he has a fever. After this she starts doing some calculations like room temperature, body temperature, etc., but due to Nanao being so close to her, Nanao's temperature becomes very high, but this girl feels that Nanao has a fever, due to which she tells Nurse Labs Asano about that girl, her name and some other things. Along with this, he also tells that the girl does not have any interest in humans. After listening to all this, Asano asks, "Are you really fine?" So it is Nanao. While eating something, Nanao says, "Yes, I am absolutely fine," but then suddenly his body starts mutating again, but Nanao keeps himself calm and normalizes the mutation, after which he tells Asano about ACGT, adenine, cytosine, guanine, and time. All these are the bases of DNA sequence, and every living creature is made of these 4 blocks. Dogs have feline sequence, canines have human sequence, and humans have human sequence, and when I focus on these, then I realize that I am also a normal human. And after this, he also tells Asano about this injection, a permanent vaccine. If he injects it in his body, then his body and soul will never be unstable again, and neither will he ever be able to come in his small form again, and I will also stop coming to school. But I do not care much about this, but Asano has seen Nanao enjoying her school life, and now Asano closes the box of that vaccine, and after that he says while crying that "You have helped me so much every time, but I could never understand your pain. But Nano, now you do not need to take this vaccine at this time. Give me a chance." Hearing this, Nano smiles and says, "Okay." After this we are shown the scene of Nano's class where he was reading something, and then suddenly his body gets mutated, but before anyone notices anything, Nanao becomes normal with an injection, but her teacher is surprised to see how her clothes got torn suddenly. Sun now makes an excuse, and after this he comes out of the class to change his clothes, and here we see Asano, who had given that injection to Nanao at the right time. After this, while playing baseball, Nanao's hand gets mutated again, but before anyone notices anything, her hand becomes normal again because Asano was hiding there in the field. After this we see Rina, who had come to feed the animals present in the biology club, but then Rina's snake eats one of Nanao's capsules lying there, mistaking it for an egg, due to which his body starts mutating and he becomes a giant mutated python. On the other hand, Hina Geeks Renai was at Yozakura's house, and she is drinking tea with Fataba and talking about the incident that happened at their house, i.e. the Hazakura battalion. Both of them had also come here with him. Then Shinzo brings them the lattice made by Miss Sumi so that everyone can enjoy them. On the other hand, Asano was giving tranquilizing pressure to Nanao, which he had learned from Ayaka, and Nanao is very happy because Asano is protecting her, due to which she is able to enjoy the school. But then two creatures from the biology club come to them, and in the next moment both of them hear someone shouting. Both of them go and see that the condition of the biology club is very bad, and then Nanao's eyes go to Raha, who was unconscious. Nanao breathes a sigh of relief after seeing her, safe and sound. But then his eyes go to one of the scales of Raha's snake, which was mutating, and after seeing this he understands that this is the side effect of his medicine, and he starts blaming himself for whatever happened here. But then Raha regains consciousness and says that we have to find Vasilis. Nanao says that we will go and find him. She says I don't know why. What happened? But looking at him it seemed as if he was in a lot of pain, and she goes from there to find him. Then Asano says, Nanao, you go with him. I will take care of all these poor Anu. After this, Nana Ho starts going behind Ren, telling Asen that many animals present here are poisonous. After this we see Ren and Nanao in a room where it is very dark, and snakes like to live in such a place, and here Ren had also brought 2 rats to lure her snake, and after this both of them start searching for Vasilisk. Nanao knew that if they did not find Vasilisk quickly then his life could be in danger, but in the next moment Vasilisk comes behind Ren. Nanao saves Ren. Ren tries to call Vasilis to her, but he had lost control over himself. That's why he starts attacking both of them. Sun now starts dodging Ren's attacks with Ren, but then Ren accidentally falls, and in the meantime Vasilisk comes close to them. Nanao comes to see Vasilis' condition and says in his mind that all this has happened because of me. That's why I will fix it. After this, he goes towards Vasilis and says to him, thank you for everything. And in the next moment, we see that Vasilisk bites Nanao's hand. But Nanao has done this intentionally because the side effects of his medicine can be neutralized only by his mutated cells. After this, we see that Vasilisk becomes completely normal, but Nanao falls there. After this, Vasilisk again comes to Renee, and before Renee could go to Nanao, Nanao had disappeared from there. We see that Asano has brought Nanao from there at the right time. Nanao says, forgive me, you are facing a lot of trouble because of me. Asano comes to the terrace and says, don't worry, no one will be able to find us here. After this, he makes Nanao lie down on the roof, and after this, we see Asano. The animals have worsened the poor man's condition, but in the next moment, Nano's body starts getting mutilated and he is losing control over himself. That's why he takes out his vaccine. Asano tells him that if you did this, then Nano says that you have seen me in this condition, now I am completely ready to take this vaccine. Then Nano pushes Asano away because he is losing control over himself. After this Nano says about that vaccine that I can never be normal, maybe this is written in my fate, and after this he injects that vaccine into his body. But friends, Asano comes on time and stops him from doing so. Asano's hand gets injured here. You don't worry Nano, just take deep breaths, everything will be fine. You can do this. Listening to Asano's words, Nano now starts taking deep breaths, due to which his body starts becoming normal again, and here Sanu says that I had a younger brother and you also look exactly like him to me, completely cute and small, just like any other child. You don't need to worry about anything, this is your elder brother. Nanao thanks Asano for all this, and after this when Nanao was removing that injection from Asano's hand, she comes to stay there. Now seeing her there, both of them are in a bad condition. Nanao asks how long have you been here? She tells that since the beginning, and after this she comes to both of them and says, Nanao, I did not know that you can do metamorphosis, and this thing of hers shocked them. Both of them don't understand, but then she asks Asano that you seem very close to Nanao. You are her, are you? Now Asano can't tell that he and Nanao are a family, but this girl herself guesses that you definitely want to join our club, right? And after this, she starts taking Asano with her for the paperwork, and before leaving she tells Nanao that I don't know what worries you so much, but don't leave the biology club. Okay, because you are the one who helps me in taking care of all of them. And after saying this, she starts taking Asano from there. Hearing about staying, Nanao becomes happy, but poor Asano got trapped, and in the end Nanao laughs a lot at Asano's condition, after which when both of them come home, they find everyone else in a very bad condition except Rin. Now Ayane doesn't understand, so then Mizami comes there and tells them that she has made lattice with the secret art of Yozakura to relieve Asano's fatigue. But after eating them, everyone started fainting, and maybe this is their side effect, but this side effect does not affect Rin because she never gets tired, and after all how can Rin leave the lattice made by Miss Sumi? Anyway, this episode ends with this. So friends, if you like this episode, then like it. If you are new on the channel, then keep subscribing and comment and tell us how you liked this episode.